got this mold from Joanne Fabrics, and it was in the baking aisle. The brand is called Stir. So this is like a really weird looking mold, right? Like, I'm like, what would I use this for? And I have looked at it at the store before, and I'm like, what could I possibly use this for? Well, one day I finally looked at what the tag says, and it's a shot glass mold. Hello? I'm like, oh, well, I obviously need to make resin shot glasses. But then I like to be able to use a mold for more than just one thing. So I'm like, what else can I do with this? And I got the best idea. I'm gonna make napkin rings for like cloth napkins. So today we're gonna be making napkin rings. The inside of this mold is shiny, so that means that the resin will come out shiny. And I know that when I'm gonna be making the napkin rings, I'm not gonna fill these up the whole way. I'll probably just maybe fill them up halfway. And I probably should take a ruler and just like measure how deep these are. They go as deep as my pinky is long. So what is that, about 3 inches? So I'll fill this up about halfway, so my napkin ring will be, well, it's trial and error, right? If it's not thick enough, then I'll just have to make more. Fine. And today the mix-ins that we're going to be using are these fun little like tropical fishy guys, and this blue glitter that looks like water. So I mixed up my resin in here, and I'm going to pour it into a smaller mixing cup. Then I'm going to add my mix-ins to it. This is just going to be such a fun, cute little project. I'm really excited for the napkin rings. I just got a big glob of fish in there, so I'm moving them around with my pointy tool. One thing that is gonna be problematic with this mold is that if I'm not filling it up all the way, it's going to cure with the stuff on the sides, and I'm going to have to cut off that excess when it's done curing. That is one known problem, and I also see air bubbles in there, and I just have to let it not bother me because I just can't get to them. Interesting. I've used these fish as mix-ins before, and never really noticed that they had a preference to sink or float, but in the first one that I poured here, I do not see any fish up on the top anymore. And in the second one that I poured, it also looks like the fish are sort of sinking. So I'd be curious to see what they're gonna do. I expected them to float, because that's what it seemed like they did on the other times I've used them. one of my concerns was that when I poured this in, the resin was kind of like running down the sides, but it beat it up pretty well and like all kind of trickled down. So there's like some beads of resin that have cured on the sides of this, but it's not like a whole like thin sleeve along the edge that I was thinking was going to happen. So I don't know how easy it is, easy or difficult it's going to be to get these out. Cool. So yeah, as I expected, the fish did float to the bottom. But it kind of makes it look like they're just swimming in the ocean. These look so cool. So, okay, one thing that I'm noticing now that I've got two out to compare, they are different heights a little bit, right? So ideally I would get a piece of sandpaper and just kind of, rub it on the sandpaper to try to flatten these edges out. And you can see there's like a meniscus here, so the edges are slightly up higher than like the center of where it set, and so I would sand these down until they're both the same width or height, whatever that is. This blue glitter in here looks so awesome. Like, it literally looks like ocean water. It's so pretty. So yeah, there's some slight variation between the heights. These two are about exactly the same height. This one, no, these three are about exactly the same height. This one is the tallest one. So yeah, I've got a little bit of work to do to finish those, but ta-da! Napkin holders, napkin rings, cute.